Rise above your own limits. Welcome, dear Stoic Becoming Adventures. Nice to have you back. Imagine standing at the base of a towering mountain, its peak hidden by mist, seemingly impossible to reach. Here's the twist. That mountain isn't some distant challenge. It's you. The summit you need to conquer is within your own mind. Welcome to the real battle. You versus you. Guided by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy, we embark on a journey of self-discovery and growth. Every day we face battles, but the toughest opponent is always the one staring back in the mirror. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, the chief task in life is to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. So why listen to the teachings of ancient Greeks and Romans? Their wisdom has transcended centuries, guiding emperors and the enslaved alike, and today it is more relevant than ever. Stoicism provides a roadmap to inner peace and true success in a world filled with distractions and instant gratification. Take a modern example, scrolling through social media, feeling envious of someone else's achievements. That's not the real battle. The real challenge lies with the inner voice that tells you you're not enough. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Over the course of this journey, we will confront the most significant obstacles standing between you and your best self. Taming your ego, conquering procrastination, building unshakable discipline, overcoming distractions, breaking bad habits, silencing self-doubt, facing your fears, nurturing your body and mind, letting go of toxic influences, and pushing beyond your comfort zone. This isn't just another self-help guide with quick fixes. It's about lasting transformation. The Stoics weren't focused on sheer willpower, but on understanding oneself and aligning actions with core values. Consider Zeno of Citium, who lost everything in a shipwreck and saw it as an opportunity to pursue wisdom. By the end of this journey, you'll have practical tools to overcome internal obstacles. But remember, knowledge without action is merely philosophy. Real change happens when you apply these principles daily. As Seneca wisely said, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. The journey to your best self begins with the first step. Are you ready to take it? 1. Pushing beyond your comfort zone is one of the most transformative challenges in life. As Seneca wisely stated, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare that things are difficult." This insight captures the essence of growth, daring to face discomfort and embrace change. The Stoics knew that true virtue and personal development come from confronting challenges. There's a popular saying, "Move out of your comfort zone." You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when trying something new. So, how do we push beyond our comfort zones and pursue growth? First, embrace discomfort. As Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Growth often comes with discomfort, and we must accept that as part of the process. Second, start small. Musonius Rufus wisely advised, "We should discipline ourselves in small things and then progress to greater challenges. Begin with small steps beyond your comfort zone and gradually push further." Third, reframe challenges as opportunities. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones to greater growth. Fourth, practice voluntary discomfort. The Stoics often placed themselves in uncomfortable situations to build resilience. Small acts of voluntary discomfort, like taking a cold shower or fasting, strengthen your ability to cope with larger challenges. Fifth, focus on the process, not the outcome. Epictetus reminded us that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The growth from pushing your boundaries is more important than the immediate results. In our digital age, routine can be a comfort zone trap. Try a Stoic-inspired technique, For 1 week, commit to doing one new thing each day, no matter how small. Expanding your comfort zone benefits not just you, but also those around you, your family, community, and even society. Remember, stepping out of your comfort zone isn't about constant stress. It's about intentional, gradual growth. As Seneca said, if one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable. Take on this challenge. Identify one significant way to step out of your comfort zone this month, break it into weekly goals, and reflect on your growth. Pushing beyond your comfort zone not only transforms you, but your world. Embrace the journey. 2. Letting go of toxic influences is essential for nourishing the soul, just as mindful eating nourishes the body. As Epictetus wisely said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This quote reminds us that, although we cannot control others or change the past, we have the power to control our responses and the meaning we give to our experiences. The Stoics recognize the impact that relationships and memories have on our well-being. As Marcus Aurelius noted, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. In light of this, how can we navigate toxic relationships and release painful memories? First, recognize toxic people. Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Take an honest look at which relationships drain you and which ones uplift you. Second, set healthy boundaries. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. While setting boundaries may upset others, it is crucial for your well-being and self-respect. Third, practice forgiveness. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that revenge lies not in retaliation but in being unlike those who caused harm. Forgiveness is more about freeing yourself than excusing others. Fourth, reframe painful memories. Epictetus advised, men are disturbed not by things but by the views they take of them. Finding lessons and growth in difficult experiences can transform how we carry those memories. In today's digital age, even our online connections can influence us. Before engaging in digital interactions, ask yourself, does this relationship add value to my life? This reflection helps you cultivate more positive, meaningful connections. Hierocles suggested visualizing expanding circles of concern, applying this perspective to your relationships. How do your closest connections impact your broader community? This outlook can inspire you to build healthier bonds. Remember, dealing with toxic influences isn't about avoiding conflict or pain, but about responding in a way that aligns with your values and promotes growth. For this week, take on the challenge. Choose one toxic relationship or painful memory to address. Write down 3 specific actions to set boundaries, forgive or reframe the situation. Every time you set a boundary or reframe a memory, you reclaim your power. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Stay strong, stay true, and choose the energy you allow into your life. 3. Fueling your body and mind is a vital aspect of overall well-being that often goes overlooked. As we journey towards self-mastery, it is important to remember that the food we consume nourishes us in 2 ways, physically and spiritually. This old saying emphasizes that what we eat not only affects our bodies but also impacts our minds and spirits. While the ancient Stoics did not have access to modern nutritional science, they deeply understood the value of moderation and mindful eating. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself," a statement that applies not just to our thoughts and actions, but also to our eating habits. So how can we approach our diet with Stoic wisdom? First, practice mindful eating. When you eat, do so slowly, paying attention to the taste, texture, and effect the food has on you. Second, choose quality over quantity. Seneca wisely noted, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Apply this to your food choices by selecting nourishing foods instead of overindulging. Third, understand the true purpose of food. While enjoyment is acceptable, remember that food's primary function is to fuel your body. Fourth, practice occasional abstinence. The Stoics often embraced voluntary discomfort, such as fasting, to help appreciate food and strengthen self-discipline. Fifth, be grateful for your food. As Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Gratitude for your meals nurtures a positive relationship with food. In today's world, processed and junk food is abundant. Try this Stoic-inspired technique. Before eating, ask yourself, is this nourishing my body or simply satisfying a craving? This mindful pause can transform your relationship with food. Consider Heracles' idea of expanding circles of concern. How do your food choices impact not just you, but also your family, community, and the environment? Improving your diet is not about perfection, but about consistent, mindful choices. Here's a challenge. Pick one unhealthy eating habit to change, whether it's snacking late at night, drinking too much soda, or eating too quickly. Commit to this for 7 days and share your experience. Remember, every nourishing meal is a step toward self-respect and self-care. Stay mindful, stay nourished, and continue making choices that honor your body, mind, and spirit. 4. Facing your fears is a crucial step toward personal growth and living a fulfilling life. Fear, though natural, often paralyzes us from pursuing our dreams, creating an internal barrier that limits our potential. Seneca famously said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," underscoring how our fears are frequently amplified in our minds. The Stoics recognized that while fear is an inherent emotion, it should never dictate our actions. As Epictetus wisely noted, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." To confront fear, we must first identify it, as Marcus Aurelius advised. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. By naming our fears, we diminish their power. Additionally, practicing negative visualization, imagining the worst possible outcome, helps alleviate the dread we feel. As Seneca put it, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." This technique allows us to see that the fear is often less daunting when brought into perspective. Stoics also stressed focusing on what we can control. Epictetus highlighted that happiness comes from releasing the worry about things beyond our control, a principle that applies to fear. By directing our attention toward actionable steps, we free ourselves from the grip of anxiety. Facing fear gradually is another Stoic principle. Musonius Rufus advocated starting with small challenges to build up resilience. Reframing fear as excitement, a belief championed by Zeno of Citium, allows us to harness this natural response and convert it into positive energy. In today's world, where social media often exacerbates the fear of failure, applying these techniques can be transformative. Pausing to ask, "What's the worst that could happen?" brings clarity and often shows us that our fears are manageable. Heracles suggested expanding our circles of concern, viewing fears in the context of how they affect not only ourselves but also our families and communities. Facing your fears is not about becoming fearless, it's about cultivating courage in the face of fear. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events," a reminder that our strength lies within. By confronting your fears, you build resilience and discover that growth lies on the other side of fear. 5. Silencing self-doubt is crucial for personal growth and self-mastery. That nagging voice that tells you, "You're not good enough," or "Who do you think you are?" is an internal adversary we all face. As Marcus Aurelius said, You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This teaches us that self-doubt is not an external force, but an internal creation, and we hold the power to silence it. The Stoics believed that our judgments about ourselves cause more suffering than any external events. Epictetus echoed this by stating, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." So how can we silence these negative views and conquer self-doubt? First, recognize self-doubt for what it is. Seneca wisely advised, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When self-doubt creeps in, pause and ask yourself, is this doubt based on fact or simply fear? Next, practice self-compassion. As Heracles suggested, expand your circle of concern with yourself at the center. Treat yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a close friend. Then focus on what you can control. Epictetus emphasized that happiness lies in ceasing to worry about things beyond our control. Shift your attention from outcomes to efforts, and self-doubt will have less power over you. Another strategy is using negative visualization. Seneca advised that imagining the worst can help alleviate fear and doubt, saying, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." By envisioning the worst, you often realize that your fears are more manageable than they seem. Above all, take action despite your doubts. Plato said, "For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories." Every small action you take builds confidence and weakens self-doubt. In today's world, where social media amplifies comparison, remind yourself that you're seeing others' highlight reels, not their behind-the-scenes struggles. Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, believed in living in harmony with nature. Ask yourself if your doubt is in alignment with your true nature and potential, or just a learned response based on fear. Silencing self-doubt isn't about never feeling uncertain. It's about not letting that uncertainty paralyze you. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." By facing self-doubt head-on, you prove to yourself that you are capable, worthy, and strong. Remember, the voice of self-doubt may be loud, but your inner strength is louder. 6. Breaking bad habits is a challenge that impacts every aspect of our lives, and it's essential to recognize the patterns that shape our character. The proverb, "Habits are first cobwebs, then cables," serves as a powerful reminder that both good and bad habits strengthen over time, and addressing them early is crucial. The Stoics believed that our habitual actions define us. As Will Durant, influenced by Stoicism, famously stated, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. So, how can we break free from negative habits and cultivate positive ones? First, identify the triggers that lead to your bad habits. Marcus Aurelius advised that distress often stems not from external circumstances, but from our perceptions of them. Recognizing what triggers your habits is the first step toward change. Next, replace bad habits instead of merely trying to stop them. Aristotle noted that nature abhors a vacuum, so find a positive replacement for your negative habits. Practice self-compassion throughout this process. Epictetus taught that improvement often requires us to accept being perceived as foolish or incompetent. Changing habits takes time, and being patient with yourself is key. Regularly visualize your success in overcoming bad habits. Envisioning a positive outcome reinforces your commitment to change. Additionally, create accountability by finding a partner or sharing your goals with someone you trust. Seneca emphasized the importance of support in self-improvement. In our digital age, excessive screen time and social media use pose modern challenges. For 1 week, before engaging with digital devices, pause to ask whether the activity aligns with your values and goals. This moment of reflection can disrupt automatic behaviors and foster more mindful choices. Heracles, suggested examining our roles and responsibilities. Consider how your current habits align with your roles as a friend, family member, professional, and citizen. This broader perspective can inspire meaningful change. Remember, breaking bad habits is not about achieving perfection, but about continuous progress. As Epicurus said, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. For the upcoming week, choose one bad habit to break, identify its trigger, select a positive replacement, and commit to this change for 7 days. Share your experiences in the comments below. Each time you choose a positive action over a negative one, you reinforce the person you aspire to become, sculpting your character with every decision. The power to change your habits lies within you. Embrace it. 7. Overcoming distractions is a crucial step in enhancing our effectiveness in a world filled with constant interruptions. As Seneca observed, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere," a sentiment that resonates deeply in our hyper-connected lives, where our attention is often fragmented. The Stoics understood the value of focus, with Marcus Aurelius advising us to concentrate every minute on the task at hand with genuine seriousness. So, how do we cultivate this focus amid endless notifications, social media, and information overload? First, create a distraction-free environment. Epictetus suggested that to improve, we must be content with appearing foolish at times, which might mean turning off notifications, using website blockers, or even simplifying our devices. Don't shy away from seeming out of touch if it helps reclaim your attention. Next, practice single-tasking, as Epictetus recommended discipline in small things before progressing to more significant challenges. Begin by dedicating just 15 minutes to one task, gradually increasing this time as you build your focus. Implement the stop and think technique by pausing before switching tasks or checking your phone to ask yourself, is this necessary right now? This moment of reflection can disrupt the automatic habit of distraction. Additionally, schedule specific times for distractions rather than attempting to eliminate them entirely. As Seneca noted, vices often creep in under the guise of virtues, so allowing designated distraction times can make focused work periods more productive. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in overcoming distractions. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that we hold power over our minds, not outside events. Regular mindfulness practice strengthens your ability to notice distractions and redirect your attention. To tackle modern digital overwhelm, consider keeping a distraction diary for 1 week. Record when you get distracted, what led to it, and what you were supposed to be doing. This self-awareness can reveal patterns and help identify what truly deserves your focus. Heracles suggested visualizing concentric circles of concern. Apply this to your attention by determining what belongs in your inner circle of focus versus what can be pushed to the periphery. Remember, overcoming distractions is not about achieving perfect focus at all times. It's about being intentional with your attention. As Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." For the upcoming week, challenge yourself to choose 1 hour each day to be completely distraction-free. Use this time for deep work, reflection, or connecting with loved ones. Share your experiences in the comments below. As we close this chapter, reflect on the fact that your attention is your most valuable resource. Mastering your focus not only enhances productivity, but also reclaims your life. Stay focused, stay present, and remember that every moment of intentional focus is a step toward mastering your mind. 8. Building unshakable discipline is one of life's most vital challenges, especially after tackling the ego and procrastination. Epicurus wisely noted, "No man is free who is not master of himself," encapsulating discipline's essence, the ability to control our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Discipline is not about punishment. It's about the freedom to choose our actions deliberately rather than being swayed by fleeting desires or fears. The Stoics believed true power comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is fundamental to Stoic discipline. So, how do we cultivate this strength? First, start with small habits. Musonius Rufus taught that habit is a powerful influence. Begin with tiny, manageable actions, like making your bed every morning or meditating for just 5 minutes daily. Second, practice mindfulness. Seneca advised that we should reflect on our actions each night, assessing whether they align with our values and goals. This reflection helps reinforce discipline over time. Next, embrace discomfort. Epictetus reminded us that improvement often requires doing what feels uncomfortable. Embracing challenges instead of avoiding them builds resilience. Fourth, focus on what you can control. The Stoics emphasized directing energy toward our actions and reactions rather than external outcomes. This approach fosters a sense of empowerment and responsibility. Additionally, developing a morning routine can significantly enhance discipline. Many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, began their days with reflection and planning, setting a disciplined tone for the day ahead. In today's world, where distractions are rampant, a modern challenge arises: the constant barrage of notifications. Try a Stoic-inspired technique by turning off all notifications for 1 hour each day. Use this time for focused work or reflection, reinforcing self-control and discipline. Heracles suggested visualizing expanding circles of concern, starting with ourselves and expanding outward. Apply this to discipline by beginning with self-control in personal matters, before extending it to interactions with others, work, and community. Building discipline isn't about perfection. It's about consistent effort and gradual improvement. As Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." For the upcoming week, challenge yourself to choose one area in your life where you wish to build more discipline, whether that's waking up earlier, sticking to a workout routine, or limiting social media use. Commit to this change for 7 days, no matter how small the action. Share your experiences in the comments below. As we close this chapter, remember Seneca's words: "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable. Stay present, stay disciplined, and trust the process." Every moment of discipline is a vote for the person you want to become, and each small act of self-control lays a building block in the foundation of your unshakable discipline. The path to mastery is paved with small, consistent efforts. 9. In our last chapter, we tackled the ego, and now we face another formidable foe: procrastination. This frustrating habit of putting off until tomorrow what we know we should do today can be a significant barrier to our progress. As Seneca wisely observed, while we are postponing, life speeds by. Procrastination isn't merely laziness. It's a complex beast often fueled by fear, perfectionism, or a sense of overwhelm. The Stoics recognized this struggle thousands of years ago, and their wisdom remains relevant today. Epicurus noted, "No great thing is created suddenly," reminding us that meaningful work takes time, but we must also begin if anything is to grow. So how do we stop procrastinating and start taking action? First, break tasks into smaller steps. When a task feels overwhelming, divide it into manageable sections. Seneca advised, "Do not be dismayed by the whole of your task. Attend to the day's portion." This approach makes the overall project feel less daunting. Second, start with the hardest task. Epicurus taught that we should discipline ourselves in small things before progressing to larger challenges. So try tackling your most difficult task first thing in the morning, when your willpower is strongest. Third, use the 5-minute rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. Often, getting started is the hardest part, but once you begin, you're likely to continue. Fourth, practice visualizing the process, not just the outcome. Instead of imagining the completed project, visualize yourself working on it. This mental rehearsal can make starting feel more manageable. Fifth, embrace imperfection. Zeno of Citium stated that well-being is realized through small steps, which are indeed no small feat. Remember, done is better than perfect. Now let's address a modern challenge: digital distraction. Our phones and computers, while useful, can be procrastination enablers. Before checking your phone or opening a new browser tab, pause and ask yourself, is this essential right now? This moment of reflection can disrupt the automatic habit of digital distraction. Each evening, reflect on what you accomplished and what you put off, without judgment. Overcoming procrastination isn't about becoming a productivity machine. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals. As Seneca wisely noted, life is long if you know how to use it. Choose one task you've been putting off, break it into small steps, and commit to working on it for 5 minutes daily. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Every small victory over procrastination is a step toward mastering your life. Taming your ego. In our journey of self-discovery, we often face the challenge of taming the ego, the voice inside that can either inflate our sense of self-importance or drag us down into self-doubt. This powerful yet misleading force can distort our perceptions, leading us astray. The Stoics understood this well, encapsulated in the words, "You're not your reputation. You're not what other people think of you. You're not even what you think of yourself." These powerful insights prompt us to reflect. When we receive praise, our ego may swell, convincing us we're invincible. Conversely, a moment of failure can leave us feeling worthless. Both extremes are illusions that hinder our growth. Epicurus wisely noted, "It's impossible to learn that which one thinks one already knows." An inflated ego blinds us to our flaws, while a bruised ego can paralyze us with self-doubt. So, how do we tame this beast? First, practice humility. Zeno of Citium taught that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we should listen more than we speak. Next time you feel the urge to boast or defend your ego, try listening instead. You may be surprised by what you learn. Second, embrace criticism. Rather than viewing criticism as an attack, see it as free advice. Cleanthes, often ridiculed for his humble beginnings, used derision as fuel for self-improvement. Third, separate your actions from your worth. You are not defined by your successes or failures. As Seneca put it, "He who boasts of his descent praises the deeds of another." Your actions are opportunities for growth, not definitions of your character. Fourth, practice self-deprecating humor. Laughing at yourself keeps you humble and approachable. Even Emperor Marcus Aurelius found ways to poke fun at himself in his journals. Lastly, focus on progress, not perfection. Musonius Rufus taught that hard work leads to enduring achievements, while pleasure pursued at the cost of integrity results in lasting shame. In today's world, social media often feeds our egos with likes and follows. Before posting, ask yourself if you're sharing genuinely or simply feeding your ego. This simple pause can be eye-opening. Heracles proposed an exercise of expanding circles of concern. Start with yourself, then move to family, friends, community, and ultimately all humanity. This perspective shift can help reduce an overinflated ego. As we conclude this chapter, remember that your ego is a tool, not your master. Use it to motivate yourself, but don't let it define you. As Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." In our next chapter, we will confront procrastination, but for now, I challenge you to catch your ego in action this week.
Notice when it flares up and practice one of the techniques discussed. Share your experiences in the comments below. The battle against your ego is ongoing, but with each small victory, you draw closer to mastering your mind. Stay strong and stay humble.
Final thoughts. As we reach the end of our exploration, remember this is just the beginning of your Stoic journey. Epictetus wisely said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." Your task now is to apply these Stoic principles in your daily life. Progress is often slow and steady, so be patient with yourself while remaining committed to growth. Every challenge, setback, and triumph presents an opportunity to practice Stoicism. As we conclude, I challenge you to choose one principle from our journey and fully commit to embodying it this week. Share your experiences and insights with our community, as these reflections can foster collective growth. Remember, the real battle is you versus you, and it's a lifelong journey. With each small victory, you're becoming the best version of yourself. Stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing. Your Stoic journey has only just begun. I hope these insights motivate you to take decisive action, overcome obstacles, and reach your goals. If you found this video valuable, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's come together to create a community dedicated to living with intention, integrity, and resilience. Until our next encounter, remain mindful, stay focused, and persistently strive to become the best version of yourself. Until then, see you on the next one.